Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the trade that I took tonight, which was a win, thankfully. But before I talk about that trade and kind of how it went, I just wanted to talk about trading overall and knowing your why, right? Basically, your why is something that inspires you, something that keeps you going, keeps you motivated, keeps you wanting to do the right thing. First time I ever heard of that phrase was like back in like 2014, 13, maybe 2012 with Adidas. That was like their whole thing, know your why, right? And since then, I've always kind of thought about that whenever it comes to things that I'm doing. Whenever I was in grad school, taking my board exam to get my physical therapy license, playing basketball in high school, whatever the case may be, knowing your why is so important. And for me, my why now, when it comes to trading, it's my family, it's my friends, it's my girlfriend. Um, this day trading, the 28th, was very difficult. Technically, today for me, it's the same day. I just took these two losses earlier today. But for you guys, it's yesterday's video. It was difficult for me to lose when doing the right thing. And that kind of thing sucks, right? But now that I've been trading more, and this whole month has been such a revelation for me in terms of how I've been trading, what I've been doing, how I've been executing. It's like I'm starting to trust myself more. I'm starting to trust my setup more. Um, I'm not as afraid as I used to be. So coming into today, even though I lost, and I had those two losses earlier today, which was yesterday for you guys, I still came in confident. You know, I looked at the market same time I do for Asian session, did everything I was supposed to do for Asian session, and it led to a win. And I trade for my family and my friends and my girlfriend. Like listening to my girlfriend tonight. Normally, I'd be doing my video a little bit earlier, like as soon as I'm done trading, but she wanted to play with her online friends, and just like seeing her laugh and smile and have fun. That's why I do this. That's why I trade. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm working so hard. So that way she doesn't have to go looking for a job. She doesn't have to worry about losing her job. She doesn't have to worry about waking up early in the morning to go to work and answer to someone that she doesn't like, right? That's why I do this. So, yeah, it's difficult to trade. And when I take losses like how I did earlier, even though I felt like I was doing everything right, it sucks to lose. And I'm so competitive. I always want to do more, always want to win. But in this game of trading, you can't do that. You just have to trust your setup and trust yourself to be able to take your setup, execute appropriately, risk well, and hopefully, if your process is good and if your setup is good, if your edge is good, then you're gonna come out on top, right? So that's kind of what I want. That's kind of what I wanted to say to start this video, just to remind you guys, like, know what your why is. Know exactly why you're trading, who you're doing it for. If you're going through a losing streak, understand what got you into this point. What got you to start trading, right? If you're on a winning streak, like I said before, stay humble, stay focused on the task. Understand that the people that you're doing it for or the things that you're doing it for are relying on you to stay consistent, right? To be profitable, to act and do things that a profitable trader would do. And I hope that you guys are able to do that. But anyway, I just want to say that I heard my girlfriend playing Minecraft with her friends, and that's something that just I kind of thought about before we start getting into the trade. So let's start getting into the stuff. One thing I did want to talk about too was the unrealized profit and loss. I didn't know this, but I saw on Twitter you can actually change the colors of these. So even my realized profit and loss, I could change that to like black, so that way it doesn't show green. But I changed the unrealized profit and loss to black just because I don't want it to show um the colors red and green while it's happening. I'd rather just show it at the end. So if you watch yesterday's video, you'll actually see that too while I'm in that live trade. Like it'll stay black. But anyway, let's put on these chart executions here. Let's go over the trade real quick so I can go to sleep soon. Um, so here's where we took our trades. We actually ended up getting out like at the top. We're kind of right there right now, right? But why did we take these trades? If we go back on TradingView and we look and we see, I actually started trading today around like 7:15-ish or so. Um, and I kind of do want to talk about this contraction because I've been back testing this a lot. So here, the first trade we took was at 7:25. So 7:25, I thought I actually traded earlier than that, but I guess not. But we did trade a little bit before 7:30. And the reason why I took this trade was one, clear bounce off of value. Well, first, let's start from the very beginning, right? Are we bullish or bearish? Bullish, right? This is our opening candle right here, this candle. As you can see right here, opening candle. We have our prior day value area highs, prior day point of control, prior day value area low set up. So right now, we opened at prior day value area highs and we continued off of there. So that to me is telling me we're bullish, right? So here would be a very good stop loss just below this open right here. So that's what we're aiming for and that's what you're looking at. End up taking the trade on this candle here. Why did I take it here? One, value area lows. Remember, whenever we're bullish, we always buy off of value area lows. And if we're bearish, we always sell off of value area highs. But now, as you can see, there's not really much room to run. And I don't like that. And I have been backtesting and I have seen this. The reason why it's okay to take this trade is one, again, good bounce here. But two, when you're so clearly bullish, it is very unlikely, not saying that it doesn't happen, but it is very unlikely that you're going to come back down and test these lows, right? It's very unlikely. It can still happen, but it is very unlikely. So that's the reason why I took that, just kind of like thinking like, all right, even though value area highs right here are only about 4 points away, I believe that this will run. And my target here was about 550, so 23,550. Why was it 550? Just because we start to have some resistance. Honestly, I was really hoping for 558, as you can see here. And then the 586 would be the crazy number, but 566, 556 or 557, but really I just wanted 550, that right nice round number, right? This area here of consolidation before we start moving lower as well on the 15-minute candle, 15-minute time frame. So that's kind of where I wanted, right? Now obviously it's a long ways away. We're consolidating, we're not moving much after this nice move up at open. But for me, I was like, we're clearly bullish unless we somehow, some way switch the trend or news comes out. I don't believe we're going to be hitting these lows. So that's where my stop loss was initially. You can see here we were just building the position. Entered one contract, 725, another contract, 736, another contract, 744, another contract, 750, right? As we continue to have these uh, big candle moves, right? 8 o'clock hits, we get a volatility candle. This scared me a little bit. Just because of the fact that I'm like, wow, that is such a huge candle. And at the time, it was rejecting off value area highs. You can see here, if we get to that point, right? So that's what happened right here. I was like, oh my gosh, but look, hit value area low, bounced off, right? As soon as that happened, I was confident again, right? And you'll see here, I actually added at that time, added one more, 803, right? And then here, boom, 813, we have another one of these crazy candles. Earlier New York session today was so choppy, so crazy. So I was like, oh, please, like, don't go into Asian session like that as well. But here, boom, look where it would have, old me would have put my stop loss right here, would have stopped me out, and I wouldn't have liked that, right? But I didn't. I let it hold. I added appropriately to where $200 or I think it was like $225 were below these lows, right? But as I was more confident and I saw that not only did we bounce once here, twice, but now three times, I was like, all right, cool. My stop loss can be shifted to a little bit higher now. I wanted below this candle, but not directly below it, right? Maybe like 510, which is kind of where I put it. until we started moving higher, but then 514 ultimately was a stop loss. Again, like I said, we were targeting 550. We were clearly hitting value area highs, so this is range trading, right? As soon as we had that move up from open, we're in a range, up, down, up, down. That's why I like volume profile too, because you can really add um, range trading to it, where it's like, okay, you hit value area high, you sell, right? You hit value area low, you buy, you hit value area high, you sell, right? Quickly going up and down. But obviously, you have to understand that there's a trend, right? For the most part. And if there's a trend, you should, this is my model, but you should be buying at the bottom and selling at the top here, right? So here, like I said earlier, we're aiming for 550. End up getting this nice push up. Love to see it, right? This would not be considered buying climax because of the fact that there hasn't been much buying at this time. It is a lot of volume, but there hasn't been so much buying at this time to consider it buying climax. Again, that's just my opinion though. It's not fact, right? But here we continued, and then I ended up getting out at these levels here, right? So, um, sorry, these levels here. I actually did end up buying a little bit more because I was like, because I didn't consider that to be buying climax, I added more on these levels, adding to a winner, something that's so important I need to be better at doing. Um, and we continued to bounce, and then we started getting closer to my target. So a little bit of consolidation on value area highs here for the current session, and then we continue higher. So overall, it was a really good trade. End up getting out around these areas here, as you can see. Target was 550, but I just realized that look, like we're starting to stall, right? This could have been considered buying climax, which it was, right? Buying climax does not mean it's like it's kind of like a movie, right? The climax of a movie doesn't mean it's the end of the movie. So just because buying climax happens does not signify that the move is done going in that direction, right? So it wasn't done going up, but it was coming to a close. And that's what happened here. It came to a close, I got out, and then we ended up coming back down. I know if I held and we were in here, I'd be really scared. Um, But now it looks like we're testing these highs again currently at 11:14 p.m. Eastern. So that's about it. I am so tired. I got work tomorrow in the morning. So technically today, when you guys are watching this video, um, yesterday was a tough day for a lot of people. I saw a lot of people on Twitter struggling. Obviously, some of you guys too. Yeah, I always appreciate the comments, by the way. You guys commenting and not only just commenting, but just leaving encouragement, words of encouragement, or good analysis or whatever, like I really do appreciate that a lot. I never thought, I said this before, but I never thought that, I started this YouTube channel in April. I never thought that people would be commenting, watching, subscribing, liking. I never thought that at all. Um, it's insane. So I'm just very grateful for that. But hopefully you guys are trading well. Again, like I said, yesterday was a tough day for a lot of people. So hopefully you guys are able to bounce back today. Just keep working hard, man. Remember, like I said in the beginning, know your why. Um, and I just realized that that was not the main topic I wanted to talk about for this video. Well, I'll talk about whatever I wanted to talk about in another video, but I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically. I'll see you guys in the next one.